Dear students, so this is the session 13. In the session 11, we had seen about the introduction to the poem O Great Poet. In the 12th session, we had seen the poem and its summary or its analysis. In this session, let us see the conclusion of the poem O Great Poet by Daya Pawar. So, the main learning objectives of this poem are to enable the students to comprehend the complete summary about this poem, to make the students for more discussions on this poem, to have opinion of the students on the poem, so what they have learned and what they had going to they were going to know at the end of the poem. So after we had read the poem, uh, we may have some critical analysis on this poem. The poem definitely illustrates the way in which a modern poet, this Daya Pawar, thinks, how he thinks of Valmiki as a betrayer of his low caste identity. So, Daya Pawar considers Valmiki is on the side of not upper caste, low caste identity or low caste people, but he is towards the upper class people, because he talked much about only Rama but not about low castes like Shambhuka. So his reference to Shambhuka relates to the story of Rama's punishing Shudra Shambhuk for hearing Vedas. So this is what the story led for the depth of this Shambhuka. I mean to say that Shambhuka was a Shudra. He was not allowed to hear the or listen the Vedas, but when he heard Vedas, he was burnt. Especially, he was killed by Rama. So this unhappiness of Daya Pawar is towards Valmiki. Many of even today, many of Bangi caste of North India call themselves Valmiki because they think that they are the inheritors of Valmiki. So they trace even their lineage to the author of Ramayana. So they sustain that they were the descendants of Valmiki. They were the they were the main reasons for the writing Ramayana. So supposedly an outcast and a criminal before his conversion by the inadvertent repetition of the name of Rama. That means before the poet Valmiki going to be a great writer, author of Ramayana, uh, he was Ratnakar. He was a very ardent and rude person, but he gradually converted into Valmiki when he was advised by Narada, and when advised Narada to repeat Rama, 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 that will be getting the salvation to Valmiki. So, as advised by as advised by Narada, this Ratnakar followed the words of Narada, and he repeated the name of Rama, and ultimately this Ratnakara becomes Valmiki. See, as you know, the poem is on Valmiki, indicates belief in Dalit creative past and is itself an act of creation. Since the early 1970s, short stories, novels, poetry, and most recently autobiography have followed from Dalit pens in great quantity. So it may be seen in the pen of Daya Pawar too. So Dalit literature is related to Dalit culture is related to Dalit literature because both Dalit culture and Dalit literature are products of imagination. Dalit literature is marked by revolt and negativism of the society or the literature. It is closely associated with hopes for freedom of a group of people like low castes who, as untouchables, are victims of social, economic, and cultural inequality. That means this Dalit literature usually it is against the people who were considering the untouchables or low caste people socially, economically, and culturally not in equal, then it is no coincidence that the Dalit literary movement began in Maharashtra, of course, at the birthplace of Ambedkar's movement. So, when Ambedkar had the his movement, at that time Dalit literature got its origin. His revolutionary ideas stirred into action all the Dalits in Maharashtra and gave them new self-respect after this. Dalit literature is literary expression of this awareness definitely. So the poet Daya Pawar finds the ironies underlying the concepts of Ramayana as it can be viewed as an unjust and non egalitarian society. I mean, he opposes unjust to the low caste people or untouchables. He also questions the values and truth represented by a great poet Valmiki. The collusion of Valmiki with the suppressor who wields power is seen here as a serious shortcoming. So, in this way, to conclude this poem, what I am going to say, first you have to understand properly the background to the poem O Great Poet, that is in the introduction. Then you read the poem once or twice, if possible thrice. If you read properly the poem, definitely you are going to understand very clearly about the concept of Daya Pawar. You have to read the after you reading the poem, you try to understand the meanings of word. So while understanding the meanings of the words, you have to consider those words in the literary meaning sense and also in the contextual sense. So, after reading this poem, you understand line by line, and at the same time, you understand the references of this Daya Pawar, especially how Ratnakar became Valmiki, why Shambhuka was killed by Rama, and how this Valmiki neglected the low caste people, especially Shambhuk, a Shudra. And also, you have to understand the story of Herans, how it led to Valmiki to write Ramayana. So, like this, you have to understand the references and the characters and also the views and attitudes of this Daya Pawar towards Valmiki. Then at the end, you have to critically analyze the poem in your own way. So if you have these concepts, if you understand properly about Ratnakar became Valmiki, the story of Iran, even how why this Shambhuk Shudra was killed. So what led this Rama to kill this Shudra, and why, then easily you will understand why Valmiki was not liked by this Daya Power. Even you might have observed the poem title is also a kind of irony, and so after ho there must be an exclamatory mark, but probably the poet Daya Power has not given it intentionally, because he does not want to call Valmiki as great poet. So he did not use an exclamatory mark. So with this, I hope understand properly. You might have understood properly the poem "Oh Great Poet" by Daya Power. Thank you.